So the note of oud, that's a very controversial note, probably the most controversial note in fragcom. People always has questions of why oud smells so bad. Why a lot of oud smells like fecal matter. Can oud only be worn in the winter time or the colder months? What makes oud? How is oud even produced? Is this a synthetic note? Is it natural? Stay tuned. I'll answer all those questions with some examples. So oud, where did oud originate? It's a Middle Eastern note and it originated from trees. What they do is there's certain trees that basically like cheese, they just let it rot, mold, and the moldier it gets, the better it is for oud, the more expensive it is. There's oud that can be sold for thousands of dollars just for 1 pound. Yeah, they take it, and when it's molded, it produces oud. There is a such thing as synthetic oud. Obviously, there's synthetic notes. That's why you have some fragrances that might smell synthetic. But at the end of the day, oud is expensive, so a lot of brands that want to put oud into their fragrances use synthetic oud because it's just will drag the price up drastically for that fragrance if you use real oud. Oud can be barnyardy. It can smell like fecal matter, but if you do it right, it can also smell really, really, really good. Depending on how you mix it with, oud can only be worn in the wintertime, but if you mix it right with some other notes, it could be worn all year round. It could be worn even in the summertime. So stay tuned, and at the other end of this video, we'll get into it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Okay, so with oud, like I said, there are certain ouds that I would recommend only wear in the wintertime. For example, Lattafa's Amir Al Oud. And the reason being is because it has oud in it, but it also has some sugar, vanilla, and all those sweet notes. If you know, you know. Does not go well. It'll be very cloying in the warmer months. So a fragrance like this, please only wear this in the colder months because you will offend people if you wear it. And here's an example of one that I would say only wear when it's cold. On the other hand, there is oud fragrances that I would say you can wear in the warmer months. I mean, it has citrusy notes in it. It has things that make it really good for the wintertime because citrusy notes don't project as well. And then that's what you need in the warmer months. So for example, oud Najdir. Everybody thinks of Najdir when it comes to Lattafa. They don't think of oud Najdir, or they think of Najdir Intense, I think that just came out, which I think is a Le Beau Paradise Garden clone. I need to get my hands on that. I do want to smell it. But this one right here is an underrated gem. It's a cheapie. Very, very, very much cheaper than the regular Najdirs and the Najdirs Intense. But this one right here has oud, but it also has like some citrusy notes. It might even have some marine notes, things like that. And it's good that you can wear it in the summertime. So don't think that you can only wear oud when it's cold, because just showed you an example. Then there's oud that you can actually get away with all year round. Why? Because it's woody and sweet enough that you can wear it in the cold weather. And it's also has notes that you can get away with it in the warmer weather. And my example for that one, again, from the house of Lattafa, because Lattafa is a Middle Eastern brand, so most of these fragrances are going to be from Lattafa. This one right here is Blue Oud. And obviously you know why that you can wear this one during the warmer weather, because it is a blue fragrance, but it just happens to have oud in it. Yes, you can still smell the oud and everything, but at the end of the day, it does have those blue notes. It kind of smells a little marine, a little bit watery, that you can actually get away with this one in the warmer weather, but then it also really projects that oud that I would say you can even wear it right now when it's cold. So that's blue oud. So there's also such thing as designer oud. What is designer oud? Designer oud is really that oud that doesn't really smell barnyardy, doesn't really smell like that fecal matter or things like that. And yes, there is oud that Middle Easterns make that doesn't smell like that as well. But at the same time, a lot of designer oud tries to stay away from the funk and stay away from that stinky oud. So they kind of get into the more synthetic oud when they make their fragrances. And a prime example is from the house of Tumi. You know, that's the brand that makes all of the luggages and stuff. They came out with Continuum. My little baby bottle of Continuum. Let it focus. Yeah, and Continuum has oud. I think it has some tobacco, might even have some iris in there. It's an overall beautiful fragrance. And you get the oud, but you get the oud that's blended in really well, and it's synthetic so that it doesn't really contain that barnyardy fecal matter smelling oud. So this is a take from the designer realm of things that can really make it smell really pleasant to the nose. This right here is definitely a compliment getter. You will get compliments when you wear this. And it's just an overall beautiful scent. So this is from the house of Tumi. This is Continuum. Okay, and then on the other hand, there is that niche kind of Middle Eastern oud that I would tell people, please stay away from. I bought this. I thought that it was going to eventually masquerade into a beautiful fragrance. It does not. It smells worse than the barnyardy oud. This actually smells like urine. Yeah, I can't even give this bottle away. So I usually do this for demo purposes, just to let people know what oud can really smell like, and it's not pleasant. Oh my God. It smells a little bit better now. Let me get a spray in the air. Oh my God, this smells bad. This right here is Oud Wood Eau de Parfum. Not really sure of the house. I did buy this from Burlington Coat Factory for sub $20. Trying to get it to focus. And it will choke you out. It is strong and it smells terrible. One of my friends came over. He's into fragrances, not as much as me. So usually when I have a fragrance that I haven't been wearing, I usually give it away to him. I let him smell this and said, if you like it, you can have it. And the first thing he said is, I don't want to smell like this. So it just lets you know this is a bad smelling fragrance. And this is what oud can smell like. People can just pretty much make oud smell like what they want it to smell like. They can make it smell really good. They can make it smell terrible. Hey, somebody might actually like this fragrance. But I would say if you see this at your local Burlington, you probably won't be able to try it before you buy it. But I'm just letting you know from experience, this is probably the worst smelling oud fragrance. This smells nothing like Tom Ford's Oud Wood, even though it's called Oud Wood. So stay away from this one. What are some of my favorite combinations when it comes to oud? I would say one of my favorite combinations is, and if you look at my videos, you will know, it's rose oud. It gets in touch with your masculine side. It gets in touch with your feminine side. And it just smells amazing. One prime example, which is probably my latest oud rose combination fragrance. I know I'm late to the game on this one, but I found it at a great price at Burlington. This one is Amethyst from the Balal Oud collection of Lattafa. This is a clone of Atomic Rose from Initio. I know that they do like cloning Initio fragrances. Like I have an Oud for Greatness clone, which is Oud for Glory. I have an Oud for Happiness clone, which is of the Al Noble collection from Lattafa. This one here, I mean, they just love cloning Initio. I know they have a clone of their musk fragrance. I forget the name of it, but they do clone a lot of Initio fragrances, and rightfully so, because Initio makes some really, really good fragrances. I need to get my nose on some more, probably go back to my Dillard's and smell some more Initio fragrances. But this one is Oud Rose, and it's Oud Rose done right. It's sweet, but at the same time, it does have that oud presence. Again, sweet and oud. Of course, like I said earlier in the video, that's good for the colder weather. And it's just done right, you know. So if you like rose fragrances, if you like oud fragrances, this will be a perfect pickup. You can get this for sub $30 at your local Burlington. If not, I would recommend to order it online. I do have other places. Shout outs to Sensational Scents. I do have my boy Mo over there that sells this fragrance, but if you can't find it at your local Burlington, I would recommend to get it online. And it's probably going to be the same, around the same price. So with oud, like I said, you can make it smell good, you can make it smell bad. If you like oud, but you really don't want to offend people and you're kind of cautious when wearing fragrances, I would even recommend wearing some fragrances that even mask the note of oud, that have oud in it and it's in the background. It's just instrumental. One example of that, and I know people have been trying to find this, a lot of people have, a lot of people haven't, but that's from the house of Banana Republic. It is Midnight Hour. Yeah, if you ever smelt this, you was like, wait, haven't looked up the notes, but it has oud in it? Because this smells like Creed Aventus, or it smells like Hachivac. Yeah, it has oud in it. Some people say they detect the oud a little bit. Some people say I never get the oud. I get oud, but it's like really minimal in this fragrance. This smells like basically kind of Creed Aventus Absolute with mango in it, you know, and it's a beautiful fragrance. But if you want to stay away from the oud while still having oud in it, so you could tell people, yeah, I wear oud, I would say go for Midnight Hour by the house of Banana Republic. This gets you oud without even smelling like oud. So there you have it. You know, and as I said, you know, there's oud that can smell really bad, and then there's oud that can smell really good. All the rest of these fragrances, except for Royal Oud, smell fantastic. But one of my favorites that I actually picked up from Burlington, I don't know the house because it doesn't say, but it's called Royal Oud. Beautiful presentation. Beautiful smelling fragrance. They also have another one called Leather Oud. I passed up on that one because I think they said it smells like Tuscan leather or ombre leather or one of those fragrances. It smelled like a fragrance that I already have. I don't know if it was oud wood. It was something, but it smelled, they said it smelled like a fragrance I already have. And so I just didn't get it because I just knew that that was going to be too redundant. But this one, I don't have anything that smells like it. If I could compare it to anything, maybe an Oud for Greatness, but it's way sweeter. It has the Middle Eastern oud in it, but at the same time, it does not smell bad. This is, oh my God, this is a beautiful fragrance. And see, that's what I'm talking about when it comes down to the note of oud. You can make it smell great, you can make it smell fantastic, and you can make it smell basically like dirt or like fecal matter, or even in this case, like urine. So there you have it. That's my take on oud. I hope this video piqued your interest. I hope this video provided enough information that was educational to the note of oud and things like that. And this is James Darnell, D. Davinci the Poet. I do poetry and sim reviews. If you like that type of content, then be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also tell a friend to tell a friend's mother, father, sister, brother that I do those things. Salute, peace, and I'm out. Stay tuned for the next one, and God bless.